All right, guys, I think we are live and ready to go. It's a little early. We usually start at 9:15, so I'm not going to be, really getting started till then. I'll review the watch list. I'll start reviewing the watch list at 9:15. Until then, we'll just kind of let everyone, funnel in and find their positions till 9:15, till we get started with the morning watch list. Let's just check out PTI for a little bit. I mean, this thing has been rallying all morning to the downside. Really good fun. I was actually watching this here at 7:50, even a little earlier. I think I started watching around 7. Yeah, no, around 7:50. Yeah, that's around where it was. I was watching this red candle. This was a fun one to watch right here. Huge amount of sellers coming in. This kind of all happened at once. This candle was pretty big relatively. I mean, it's one of the bigger ones. And around 9:50, I was like, this would be such an interesting place to buy this. But you know what? I'm not going to buy it. And, probably a good thing I didn't, because this thing kept on crashing. So from 9:50, it went down another 13%. Just mind-blowing. This bounce is so good. I mean, imagine you bought here near the bottom and you sold near the top. 44%. That's almost a 50. Imagine getting 50% on your money in just the pre-market. This is really nice. These are the kind of pre-market activities we're looking for. This one's not textbook classic to what I would usually look for, but these morning panics are really nice, and this is really cool. I like this one a lot, and I think if we can do some sort of secondary buy on this one, I'm going to be looking to that. So that's going to be one of the main things I'm going to be looking for today. So just going to keep watching this a little bit. Whew. So they actually had some news today, but for some reason they just decided to fall off a cliff. I read the news myself. I mean, I don't know, the biotech trial news. It's hard for me to fully get the gist of it, because I obviously don't know much about that industry. But what I do know is that there was a lot of shares, a lot of dilution that was coming in around this above $5 area. So I don't really think the news was necessarily that bad. I think there's a bunch of shares that are being diluted, new shares being diluted into the market. I couldn't really confirm that. I was going through their 10Q, and I found that around I think it was the 593, there's shares to be exercised, and at 405. So I think the 405 ones got fulfilled somewhere maybe in this area, and then maybe the press release really came out to help bump the price up, so they can get dumped into the market with some volume, because there's no volume on this buying right here, and then really the sellers come in really hot. And the selling activity is only starting, so let's see what happens. By the way, on the daily, this is going to be all the way down here. This is just dip central. We went down to 213, crazy. No, 216. So we basically touched it. I want to see if we can hold the high ones. If we hold the high ones, I would love to throw in, get an entry in that. I think we're going to see another bounce right here. Big buying volume coming in right now. I'm not going to be buying this pre-market, although that is some serious buying activity. Really kind of crazy just watching this thing trade. It's crazy because it looks like, it's not really moving, but these are huge moves, just ginormous moves, and it's pretty mind-blowing to watch the whole thing. The reason the candles get a little bit, I get dwarfed, is because the VWAP, it's a big indicator, so it's taking up a lot of space. It's trying to fit it all in there. If we go to the charts, so yeah, this thing crashed from 5, so somewhere up here, 520s, all the way back down to 2. This is going to be a huge gap down. So if we go to the 1 minute, we'll be able to see this probably a lot cleaner. Let's kind of watch this a little bit longer. Big buying coming in here. This could be a secondary bounce back to, oops, let me get rid of that. Back to this area, that could be pretty nice. Potential to score maybe a nice 15%. I would have loved to see this happen as the market opened. This is why you got to cut your losses so quickly. I mean, imagine getting stuck in something like this, maybe losing 50+% of your position size. That's just really brutal. That means you got to make 100% trade to get that back. I also think this 5-minute chart down here is quite interesting because it really shows you there's kind of the power of this selling coming in here. All right, so it's 3:16, so I'm going to go ahead and start the official live stream. Good morning, guys, and welcome back for round 2, Tuesday of trading the opening bell. What I like to do is trade from, so starting usually around 9:15 Eastern Standard Time, we'll talk about the morning watch list for 15 minutes, and then we dive into trading the opening bell for about 30 minutes. Now that always varies a little bit depending on, if we're in a trade, if we're about to get in a trade, if we're done trading, all that stuff. But, usually around 30 minutes is when I'll go ahead and wrap things up a little bit, even though I will trade for probably maybe another 30 minutes or so. So it's not an exact science, but we try to make it pretty simple. So let's see what we're looking at. We're looking down here at IBIO. Is one of the first ones that came on my scanner. Actually, I'm going to run the scanner again after we talk about what's moving because I didn't pull up that much this morning. IBIO is not exactly in our price bracket. It's sub dollar, but $2 million volume is not too bad on a $6.2 million market cap. That means this thing is really a lot of shares are being traded back and forth. 31 million shares outstanding. And let me quickly see here. I had 22 million float, so pretty big difference there. Almost like a 60-70% difference. And what else we got here? This thing is up. It's a former runner, had some pretty good news recently, but it kind of looks like it's rehashing some news. It's a bit, reporting some progress. So let's see how powerful it's going to be. I mean, it is definitely going to be a nice gap up, and it is gapping up 74% and pulling back pretty healthy. So I think, this could be a nice runner today, but we'll see. I mean, dollar volume, again, it's nice, but it's a little bit on the light end. But I think this one could do pretty good. Again, though, it is kind of below our dollar ideal entry price. We also have IMGN, which was looking pretty good pre-market, again pulling off here. Nice rally, about 50% rally pre-market, actually a little less than that, it was about 45. Then healthy pullback here in this area, 22%. And right around 8 o'clock, we found that secondary potential support area. So, if we entered there, we would, be up right now, maybe 5% or something like that. I probably would have closed this position since that breakout was that pullback was a little weak. But I think this thing could really come back up here, back to the 5s, and maybe have a secondary breakout. Really nice. Dollar volume on this, $18 million volume. But this is a big market cap, 582 million market cap. That's huge. So ratio wise, IBIO is doing much better, and then 149 million shares outstanding, pretty big amount of shares outstanding. 147 million of those are part of the float, so kind of the same ratio with that. So I don't know, I'm actually pretty surprised this thing's running as much as it is. It has a approval, another biotech with an approval, so I guess that really makes them run, huh? I mean, if this thing holds above the 4, I think this thing could go really high. If you check here with the daily chart, you know, this thing could just be getting started. Let me actually, I didn't want to be on the hour. I want to be on the daily. This thing could just be getting started for a nice little run up here into the maybe fives area, 5.3 or something like that. So that's kind of be what I'm looking at. Maybe you can break out again. I mean, this one's definitely got my attention. It's kind of everything that we want, just a little bit bigger, everything that we want. Price is basically ideal, but that, you know, that market cap and those shares are pretty high. So let's see. I don't know. Maybe as we see, you know, progress making higher highs, especially breaking above this area. So I'm going to put an alert here. That's around 75, maybe 76. Say at or above is totally fine. Go ahead and create. And you know, if it does sell off a little bit, this could be a really good dip buy as well. I'm gonna go ahead and say create alert here. I think any sort of pullback, morning pullback on this one could be really nice. Next one, BLPH. I'm probably not going to be trading this one. It's a US biotech, gapping up 70%. You know, had a little bit of a pullback this morning, but nothing crazy. Just, you know, pretty going wild. This is just the dollar volume, $100,000 being traded. This is really, really small. 29 million market cap and shares outstanding, 68 million with a 43 million float. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty nice. Again, it's under a dollar. It's tough. It's tough to what to say about this one. I really like that it's at 61 already. That's all the way up here. So this thing, you know, huge gap up, man. I think this thing could, you know, also really run for sure, especially if it gets past the $6 area and some more resistance at this 0.57 area. But I don't know, we'll have to see. And then again, at 7, I would say there's definitely going to be a decent amount of resistance. You know, if it breaks past all this, I think then, you know, it's got some really clear sales, but right now it's kind of stuck in this area. Let's see what happens. Could break out. I'm going to put an alert here for sure. I don't think I'm going to be trading it though, just because the volume. I want to, you know, like I say all the time, I want to be trading stuff that I can trade with a larger account. I know I have a small account right now. We're doing the small account challenge. And I could trade some of these, but I kind of want to prep myself for the future a little bit more. And then we have PTI, which is just completely getting crushed with, even has news out, but I think, you know, like I said, I think it just has a giant amount of dilution on this one. So this will be really interesting to watch throughout the day. Kind of forming a little bear flag right here, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Usually that first bounce is really the main one. After that, you know, sometimes you can get a secondary bounce, but, you know, this secondary bounce is kind of over, it seems like, or maybe not, I don't know. But that's why I'm a little unfortunate that we missed this one. It was totally pre-market and just kind of slid under our radar. NK, we were trading yesterday. Just quickly look at it. This was, I believe this was the one that broke my heart. Pre-market, yeah, here we go. So this is what happened. If you guys didn't watch the video, I definitely recommend checking out the video because, you know, I talk a lot about what I've been noticing pre-market and how I plan to trade in the future. We had that pullback. I always say I want to wait till 8 o'clock before I do any dip buying, and that would have been the answer here. I basically sold where I should have entered on this one, and big accident for me. But, you know, I saw big support here, and I bought on the support. The only problem was I should have realized that this thing, you know, spiked up for a second and basically gave back everything right away. So I should have been way more hesitant. And yeah, this is one of those classic examples where if we would have just blindly held this thing, which is never a strategy worth doing, you know, we would have been profitable. But a lot of times you blindly hold something and before you know it, a week later, you are a bag holder and that thing is never coming back up because it is just being diluted. A lot of these small caps that we're trading are not really good companies. And once you understand that, then it's really easy to cut your losses because there usually is no coming back. Now, if you're trading like Apple or something, that's a whole different story because, you know, one day, maybe, it might be some years, but it most likely will come back. I don't think Apple's going anywhere anytime soon. All right, enough talking for me. I'm going to take a breather. Oh, thanks for dropping in the likes, guys. I really do appreciate those. And let's pray to baby Jesus that we have a productive trading day today. We don't do anything silly, and mistakes happen, but yesterday's mistake was not very fun, and not to mention we're really limited on these trades. So I think that really geeks me out more than anything. So we did 2 trades yesterday, and we have 9 trades total per week if we perfectly maximize everything. So it's more like 7 trades a week, more than 9. So yeah, we basically used I don't know, 24% of all our trades yesterday. That's kind of a crazy thought. It's not a very nice thought. I can't wait till we grow this account over $25,000. I am really looking forward to it. Crossing my fingers. We got a long ways ahead, but I think we can do it. We're doing no leverage, guys, in case you're curious. No leverage. And we are also using TD Ameritrade, which is an American broker. So, we have all of our accounts split up so we can, max out 9 trades because we're under the pattern day trader rule. So it's a little tougher than I imagined, but we've already organized quite a lot of things to make it as efficient as possible. 3.5 minutes till the market opens. Let's go back and watch PTI. I was about to say, that ain't PTI. What's going on here? I would like to see another panic. And then ideally see if we can score some sort of entry under $2. It might dip hard under $2, so we want to be careful. But if the selling pressure is not that strong under $2, then might be a good time to jump on that. My second pick would probably be IMGN. Any bigger pullback on this one, I really think could be a phenomenal entry because of it, since it's it's basically a mid cap. And I don't think the pullbacks will be as strong. I may be wrong, but it's already had a healthy pullback with positive news. So I think it's going to be breaking out from this area. And once it really breaks past 417, this kind of sky's the limit, and it's already in that area. So I think it can definitely go ahead and break past 5 again. We'll see what happens. Nothing's guaranteed. We'll see where the dollar volume is today. We'll see what's trading. Got to see where the money's at. NK, ONVO, and MIRM are stocks we traded yesterday. Not sure if we'll trade them today. MIRM, we got that nice last trade in the evening on this one. That was a pretty smooth little trade. Wasn't amazing, but it was all right. I'm not even really sure what to watch this morning. I really want to get a second screen or a third screen soon. I got all the YouTube stuff up on this screen, and then I got my chart on my laptop screen, and then I think another screen that was just kind of showing like 4 different charts, like the minute and the 5 minute on, let's say, so I could split this up. I could basically put our top 3 on it. And so in this case, I would put IMGN on one of them, and I don't know, most likely PTI on another one, and then I don't know, maybe IBIO on the other one. 30 seconds, guys. By the way, this stream is delayed, I think like 3 seconds or something like that. Just a little heads up. All right. Oh, last moment to do some stretches, guys. 12 seconds. Whew, sorry. It's been a long day. 2, 1. Ding, ding, ding. Dipski ripski right in the morning. Ooh, a lot of red candles. Quickly going to PTI, just want to check it out quickly, see what's going on. Okay, this one's dipping as well. Really serious volume. This volume is dwarfing the other volume. I'm going to put an alert here at $2. I want to see if we go below that. Kind of keep this one on the radar. Probably should have had that in place already. This thing is flying. Big dollar volume. Check out the daily chart down here. Completely getting crushed. This could be a little turnaround story right now. I mean, selling slowing off a little bit. Keeping a close eye on IMGN. I mean, 4.6. This is potential reversal with IMGN. Little morning panic. Can we go above this area? I think if we go above this area, I might be buying it. Just to, big sellers right off the gate. I want to be a little careful with that. Would want to see much more buying activity going on first. PTI at 2.3. PTI is just flying. Big sellers on this one, huh? Nice gap up. I think it just needs to form a bottom. I think there's going to be some profit taking here. 4.4 is going to be probably a lot of support. We'll see how much this one crashes. PTI at 2.38 looks like it's bouncing. It's definitely started that next bounce. Kind of feel like I should put some more attention on PTI. And the reason for that is because it's the closest into what we're looking at and has the highest dollar volume. 14% bounce already. I don't think I would have bought it at 212, so I don't really feel any sort of missed opportunity on that one. Big buyers coming in, 230. Still looks a bit more like a bounce to me. IMGN broke down a little bit at 4.49. Looks like the 50 may hold because that break was really weak. Again, this one, a lot of big market cap. This thing, even breaking down a little bit, is moving a lot of money. If we wanted to enter this trade, probably look something around 300 shares. I'll just give you guys an idea. That'd be about a $1,300 position, right in the area that we're currently trading in. PTI still at 2.3. Big buyers coming in constantly here. I think IMGN might be a really classic red to green move. But we are in this gap territory, so I'm a little cautious about that as well. I didn't check for dilution on IMGN, but based on how it's trading, it definitely looks like there could be. It also is holding below VWAP. Didn't break above it again. Not really the best sign. And even getting a bounce on something like this at this point might only give us, 4-5% for a really decent trade. So kind of got to be a little bit more cautious here. PTI 2.17. I think anything in the 20s might be an interesting buy. It's kind of where we had initial big breakout. Whoops. PTI at 212. I'd really like to see PTI start cracking too, and then kind of focus on that a little bit. Huge order just came in at, where was that, 2 point something. Really aggressive sell-off on this one. Still up 10% though. 11% pullback right now. I think a low 20 pullback could be really interesting. I don't really think it's going to go much further. PTI finding some support down here. I like the percentage returns on PTI so much more. I mean, those three candles are almost 10%. So basically found some support in this double bottom down here. IMGN is back at 35. This could be the first bounce on this one. Let's see. So 28 would have been the low. I don't think I would have entered at 28. I was looking for a bit more of a crash than that. $28. Yeah, no way. I don't know. Right now we'd be up 10 cents a share and I would be on the floor freaking out. That's not the trade yet for me. $10 minutes since the opening bell. We got another, I would say, 5 minutes for any sort of gap and go. Don't really look like I'm going to be trading a gap and go this morning. IBIO probably would have been the gap and go, or at least had the highest potential for it, but it's also selling off quite aggressively. Quite a nice bounce though. Finding some support in there. Big initial sellers. Would have been a fun one to watch, but you can't watch everything. I'll put an alert here if we dip below this area. Remember, there's no rush to trade. You don't have to trade any day. Not really seeing anything that is getting me super excited. A lot of pulling back today. Markets are stable. I'm going to check out one more. We have VERB moving. Not really moving at all. This could be a potential pullback here. A little breakout back to the upside. No news today, but not a lot of volume. Whew. Wow, everything is cracking. So good thing we haven't traded anything. We were just paused off today. This might have a really nice bounce at one point. Everything's just kind of pulling back. Let's see. I feel like IMGN might have a recovery soon here. I just, it's the slowest mover in terms of, this breakout right here, for example, 44%, pretty nice. But this whole entire dip was under 10%. So doesn't get me too excited. I think this thing could be going red to green though at one point. Out of all the ones, I do kind of like how it's turning out. I'm going to check out IMGN quickly on there if they got any news about them. IMGN. in terms of financial disclosures. It definitely looks like they're being sold into. Yeah, it doesn't look like a day where we might trade. I don't know. It's looking a little, nothing's really got me that excited. Yeah, so they definitely have some dilution going on. At $3. Yeah, this thing, I think this is not looking good for IMGM. It has this big gap down right here, right? And I was already thinking this is kind of suspicious. So I was just checking out some of their filings, and looks like they have a lot of warrants that are executable in the higher range of 470 is one of the higher ones. So this thing must just be getting dumped on right now like crazy. I don't see it really holding its highs. Even this bounce right here, if you got a perfect trade, that's only 4%. That's not really what we're looking for. This one's a little bit better, but again, not really great. IBIO is making some progress here. So we had this first initial dip, we had a pullback and a little launch pad here to the upside. This is looking pretty clean. Again, you know, really on the light end. Also has a bit of a gap down area. But, you know, if it could break 0.2 with some power, definitely worth keeping an eye on. Oop, did I say 0.2? Kind of meant 0.3. Yeah, this is a nice bounce. 10% already. IBIO, let's review again. 6.7 million market cap, 22 million float, US biotech, gapping up 74%, former runner, rehashing some news. So the news isn't really too hot, but the small float of 22 million could really be a big catalyst for this thing really running. I'm not really sure where an entry would be on this one, but I would probably look for some sort of pullback, something like this, but This is a 1 minute pullback. I'd probably look for something a bit stronger, maybe into the 2544 area. Again, dollar volume on this is really light. I'm not really sure if I feel comfortable with it. Here we go. IBIO just broke out above the former, this kind of former resistance area. If we wanted to trade this one, I'm not even really sure how many shares we would need. Let's say we wanted an entry closer to 26. And we need about 4,000, maybe even 5. Making moves though. It's the only one running. I would like a more conservative entry, maybe something at 0.25 or something like that. So would require a pretty big pullback. I don't think we'll get something like this. I'm just going to kind of put that there as a base. Just kind of as a reminder what I'm looking for. You can see some more attention moving over to it already. Little pullback. We might see a pullback back to this 2.6 area. This seems to be a little breakout zone. Rejected, buying power below. That's not what we want to see. It's because I went on the wrong account. That's why. These account issues are gonna make me lose my mind one day. Looking for this former breakout here, kind of 433. So we have maybe about 2% of risk I'd want to take on this one. Let's see what happens. Still watching PTI, kind of bouncing in this area. IMGN also kind of stuck as well. Forming somewhat of a base right here, you got to admit. This could be a good looking base. Some decent buying volume coming in here. That gap down was just brutal. I don't really want to chase IBIO. I would like to see if maybe it has a quick flash crash. I don't know. Buying these somewhat shaky plays isn't really my favorite. It does have a good 5-minute chart though. Really good, nice looking 5-minute chart. I just don't like buying the breakouts on those, especially when the dollar volume is really light. This is the exact same trade that we took a few weeks ago, actually. It didn't turn out in our favor with the 5-minute pullback, but it is a pretty clean pattern. So yeah, it seems like kind of a slow day overall though. $22,524. We're at 2541. Move that down just a little bit. I want to see this kind of base get supported. That's really what I'm looking for. I was really hoping PTI would give us a big dip under the $2, but it didn't really happen. IMGN kind of not doing much movement either. This pullback here was about 4%. .26, so many buyers there, huh? PTI trying to bust above 2.3. Kind of a cool looking trade here. Really like this bottom, like this double bottom here. I should have probably got aggressive on this one, especially when we started having some upwards momentum here. I think entering on one of these little red pullbacks would have been pretty good. This one's just really moving. This one, you can get in and out of these positions really quickly. And since this one already sold off so heavy, there's a really good chance that, you know, it could just pop to the upside really fast. I mean, 7%, quite a, doesn't even look like it's moving. That's already a pretty nice return. However, you also have that chance that this thing is going to just kind of flash crash towards you and you're going to get completely wrecked. So I'd rather see if this thing does a real dip than trying to, you know, wishful thinking. Two five, 255. Big support at 255. Our original order was at 254. 2543. Now it's at 2534. Don't really feel a need to chase this one. We might miss this entry, which is fine, a little unfortunate, but who knows, this bounce might not be over yet, so we'll see what happens. We'd be up around 2% right now if we were a little bit more aggressive. PTI, not really doing much. Let's check out IMGN. Okay, so we were looking for a reversal here. Did say there was a nice little rounded bottom forming. You know what? I'm happy though we weren't looking at it, because even that, like a perfect trade here would only give you about 6%, and there's no way we would have had that perfect trade. Still 6%, not bad, but didn't really like the risk and the slow moving on it. Let's very quickly look at PTI. Looks like we're having some selling pressure coming in again. That's exactly what I've been waiting for. Come on, PTI. Let's do a nice little crash, and things might get a little exciting. Otherwise, 403. It's already 403. Oh man, today's flying by with no activity. Yeah, so I don't know. Didn't really see anything that was looking great, so I didn't pull the trigger, which is totally fine. I know, especially after yesterday, I really kind of have the feeling that I should really kind of get into a trade, but you know, if we don't see anything, we don't see anything. It's just how it is. Technically, it's also one more trade we'll have for tomorrow. Well, this is a little annoying. This entry would have been pretty nice. I mean, you know, we already be up 3.5% with a potentially real nice upside on this one. I probably should have moved up my limit order when the buying really kind of stopped, but that's just how it is. I missed this trade. Oh well, it's still super fun to watch the market. I feel like I could do this way too long. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll have a little flash crash. Who knows? Um, anything is possible. You know, I think I don't really know if this is going to be the reversal. There might be a little bit more time for this reversal to happen. This could be one of those reversals that goes up and down for a while, kind of forms more of a channel than a flag. Here we go. What is that? I gotta stop talking. Big buyers at 255. I think that is just a huge amount of shares we're just trying to sold into. Second attempt. I'm actually going to move down my limit order. Got to get it in our sweet spot. We have a little bit of time. Big sellers came in there, huh? Little update, my order is at 2523. PTI at 2.3. I'm looking for this former breakout zone to kind of hold. We could probably be even a little bit less aggressive. I feel like I'm already super unaggressive right now. But there's a good chance that maybe a little more in the 0.2488 area is going to be really the interesting zone. The BLPH completely getting terrorized. Whew, freak. This thing's selling off much more than I would have anticipated. Basically just giving back all of its whole entire gap. Came up here in this area where it seems like there's a lot of resistance and just kind of completely got sold into. Probably a lot of dilution or something like that. Very short-lived. What's up, Andrew? Good morning. I hope you're feeling good. Is that a bull flag forming? Let's check it out. TUP. I have my eyes on IBIO, but it's not really hot. TUP. $387 million market cap, 48 million shares outstanding. What kind of news is this thing on? Is this earnings? No. I don't know if I would call that a bull flag. Very shaky. I don't know if I'd want to touch this one it's really unclear to me, and the spread seems kind of aggressive. Recent gap down too. I don't know, man. I'd probably wait for maybe a dip buy on this. I don't know. I don't really like the pattern's really choppy to me. I'm still thinking that I totally missed IBIO. I don't know. I'm a little conservative on these pullbacks with these sub pennies and sub everything and then sub dollar volume. I don't know. It's just like, I'm not going to force this trade. I'll tell you that much. If we get it, we get it, but that's about it. Like, it does look like a nice little breakout here though. I gotta give it to it. I think this area could be a good breakout zone. 3.7% up already from, you know, where we probably could have had a potential entry if I got a little bit more aggressive, but ooh, I don't think I could trade that breakout. I just don't think I could. So this is what I was talking about. We had that 5-minute pullback here, but I remember that last time we had the 5-minute pullback was also not the perfect stock, so I wanted to be a bit more cautious, and I think putting a limit order at the 2557 would have probably been a smart idea because that was already a clear bottom. So bottoms like to be retested. And yeah, I think that would have been how to play this one. But for now, I think we missed this one. I think it's about to run. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's not going to run. Maybe it's going to crash down, get us ordered, build up some bit longer term momentum, scare some people out of the trade, put people on the wrong side of the trade, and we'll still get this one. I don't know. PTI at 2.33, IMGN 2.57, slowly creeping up, making a little bit of moves now. I don't know. Still nothing really doing like what I would want. Slow day. It's probably good that today's a slow day after trading yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was just yesterday was a pretty hot day, but we had one profitable trade, one loss. Fortunately, the profitable trade wasn't as much as the loss, and the profitable trade could have, should have, would have been a profitable trade. I mean, the loser trade, we just entered too early. Everything was perfect except the entry was early. I think those are like the worst kind of trades because you're just like, well, blam, I could have got that. That was basically in the bag. I'm gonna stop talking about it. Sorry, I just been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. PTI really isn't moving away from that 2.3 spot. It's really just kind of fixed in there. IMGN, even, you know, even though it's going up, it's not really going with much volume. IBIO is trying to break out, has some of the least dollar volume though. Let's quickly check out MIRM. This is our profitable trade yesterday, forming a little bit of a rounded bottom here. A lot of support in this area. Decent a lot of things. This actually might be the runner for today, but the problem with this one is it's just kind of way out of what I would want to be trading. But, you know, there's a good chance that, you know, if this thing starts going higher, breaks 18, you know, this thing could be out of here. This thing could be really making some highs. Morning was slow though. PTI. This could be the moment to get a little dip buy before a potential continuation to the upside. So we have consolidation in this area, a little rounded bottom, and we formed somewhat of a top right here, or a support and resistance area. And you can see that we broke down it, tried to break back above it, and then got rejected once, twice, 3 times actually, and then 4 times. And then here on the 5th time, we broke out from it, and now we're having a little breakout bounce. Initial pullback, looking pretty clean. I don't know, I might have to consider trading this one. Solid dollar volume. You usually don't get very lucky on these secondary entries. What's up, Benny Bear? Let us know if you're looking for a specific trade and why. Any more details than just everything's up and down 5%. I mean, that doesn't really tell us a lot, but I'm interested to hear, why are you looking at APTO? Does it have news? Is there something forming? Let's see. Disclosures, checking out IBIO a little bit more. Here we go. This could be our entry we've been waiting for. Big sellers coming in now. Definitely has some warrants out about it. Doesn't really look too hot. Probably want to be a bit more cautious on this even. IMGN 47, PTI at 23. So this one's pulling back a little bit. I think if we don't get a trade soon, I'm gonna wrap up trading for today. I'm definitely going to be watching PTI as a bit longer because I do find it really interesting, and I think that as a pre-market trade would have been pretty cool. I should have really considered it again. I was just feeling a little shaky after that last pre-market trade, but quite an aggressive pullback this one had, but I think there's a good chance that it could break to new highs. It just has a lot of dilution that just came in around the twos, but it was able to hold this area somehow surprisingly well. Okay, it's a bit more long term. Let's check it out. It's trending up on volume. Always interesting to see what's going on and what you guys are trading. Definitely in hitting all the ranges that we're looking for. I mean, that $4 to $5, I mean, you know, $2 to $7 range. So 4.5 is like right in the middle. $10 million volume, 250 market cap, 55 million shares outstanding. Really nice. What a freaking aggressive drop this one had, huh? We've been looking at this one quite a bit. Big support here in the 3.24 area, but I mean, hopefully it doesn't crash back to that. It would really need to break above this 4.7, huh? But it's holding this area 4.5 pretty nicely. This would have been a really nice pullback by 2.5. Score maybe 5% on that one, but yeah, 5%. We're looking for those moves that you can make, you know, potentially 20%, and then you take, you know, 5 to 10%. That way you don't have to trade it even remotely perfectly. And sometimes those happen in 1, 2, 3 minutes. Some fading volume. Could be interesting. This thing could definitely break out later today, but I don't know. I don't think I'll be trading it just because it's not moving as aggressively as I would like to see something move. We're getting now close to an hour, almost an hour since the market opened. So I'm going to be wrapping up the live stream soon. I still feel like we might be able to snag a trade, but it's looking like it might be a little bit forced, if anything. So I don't know. I think IBIO is looking really good for me, putting a really nice base in here, and this thing could break out to the upside. I actually really like this base that it's been forming. So, you know, if it does get a break to the upside, I might try to move up my limit order and try to buy this break here at 0.26. So let's see if we get a break to the upside, and if we do, then I probably will put up my limit order. Otherwise, I don't think I will. Bow, do. Oh, I gotta get my stretches in. Phew. Really slow this one, huh? IBIO. These low dollar volumes are always kind of stressful. Whew, man, imagine being in this thing. This thing has been selling off since the beginning of time. Although the bounces are pretty nice. Shorting this one would have probably been the way to go, but MIGN 4.5, not really doing much of anything. Now, PTI, this is getting a little interesting. It's back to $2. This could be really good. Maybe it's gonna have a crack in this area. What's up, Seb? Did someone just get out of a meeting? So here you can see that first bounce. This thing was amazing. So pre-market, this thing was moving right around 8 o'clock actually. Check this out. Would have been the time to snag that that reversal. So around 8:01. So we had the first big reversal. Then we had a pullback back to that bounce support area. And then kind of riding this one up all the way would have been the ticket. So very interesting. I'm definitely going to be trying to do a bit more pre-market trading. I like the fact that, you know, you could be done with trading even earlier. I think that's really cool. But again, I'm really not going to be forcing any of those trades. And ideally, I'm going to be waiting for like really ideal situations. Otherwise, I probably won't be touching them at all. Whew, some volume picking up now with PTI. No trades, unfortunately. We have no trades yet. It is all quiet on the trading front. Sellers finally coming in on PTI. This is looking really ferocious. I would be super careful about dip buying this one at 2. But I think if $2 cracks, this one could be really, really nice. There we go. Just hit our alert. I'm not going to be buying this one. I'm just going to, you know, check it out. Big support here at the 87. Would not need to find a proper entry for this. Let's see if it holds. $91 is the low. 91 again being broken through. I think we might see 81 or something like that. Big sellers. Selling volume really picked up. That's why I'm a little cautious. It's not really slow. A lot of dip buyers. $91 looks like it might break through. 88. Kind of where we wanted that entry. Still a lot of selling volume. Might have another crack here. Buying coming in finally. 86. Looks like big buyers just kind of popped in. You know, 81, I should have had a limit order going there. I was kind of saying 81's looking pretty good, but I didn't have a limit order. We'd be up 8 cents right now. I would want it to break 89, and then I would probably look to sell. So it just broke 90 for a little bit. IBIO is now going a little closer to the target. We might get a fill on IBIO. We just got a fill on IBIO. Pretty nice actually, just where we wanted it. Dip down a little bit harder. Keeping a close eye. Everything's got to move at once, huh? PTI back at 1.92. PTI is, ooh, yeah, that 81 would have been perfect up at 20 cents already. That would have been probably the one to go for. One second, Andrew. I'm gonna quickly figure out what's going on here. We have some selling volume picking up. PTI, that 81 bounce would have been the ticket. It's crazy that it dipped so hard. I actually wasn't expecting this one to dip as hard as it did. I really did like our general entry, 249, but I think the problem with this one, I'm not even really sure if there is a problem. I think this overall trade is it's just low dollar volume and it's a sub penny. So sometimes the spread's a little crazy. Sometimes these are just trickier to trade. PTI at 1.9. If we were in at 1.81, I don't know. I'd probably be looking to get out. Big support in this general area down here. So we're buying basically general support zone, 2.44 area support. I would like to see a potential, break to that upside soon. I don't know how long I want to hold this one for, not very long. But I do like the overall support in this area at the 244. This one was giving us that green to red move. I mean, sorry guys, that red to green move. I was looking to buy the pullback, which we did. I'm just a little worried because this one does have some dilution, some other things that maybe the pullback is a little weak or something like that. That's really the only thing I'm worried about here. Which one are you talking about, Andrew? Are you talking about PTI? What I really wish I saw on IBIO last time is this run up, because I missed this run up, and it would have been really interesting to kind of just watch it, see how similar it is and whatnot. So, but you can see with very low volume, it did kind of start rallying. A lot of buyers at 2.5. It's always a nice thing to see. I think PTI might do another dip. I don't think I want to do two trades at once though, but if PTI dipped under 1.82 or 1.81, I would really look for that 171 entry again. And in the review later today, I'm going to kind of talk about that. So right here it's at 1.79. It's really hard to focus on two trades at once. PTI at 79. My heart rate is at 99. Everything changes when you have one of these little Garmin things. It's like, oh my, heart attacks everywhere. PTI at 78, 77 just for a second there. Whew, I'm telling you, I would be so tempted to trade PTI right now at 71. I just don't know if I am going to be doing that. I think that's super, super sketchy thing for me to do. I don't know. Long trading day today, huh? I wasn't expecting today to kind of drag out as long as it is, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. This thing is looking. I'm not a big fan of that the amount of selling going on here, making me a little nervous. I might get out of this position, and I'll tell you why. It's because one, our entry wasn't that great, and two, a lot of sellers coming in here. I would want to see this rip a little bit higher, a little faster. We might even end up taking a small loss for this because I'm not sure if I want to get out just yet. So we got in right around here. Right here where my marker is right now. This area. So on the 5-minute, I think there's a good chance that this might, dip again. So I'm a little cautious on that, and I'm definitely watching it. But what I do like about this one, it doesn't have, reverse splits at the moment, or it does have dilution, which puts me super on edge. But there's a few things going for it. Article, but kind of rehashed news, not really super interesting. I don't know if this. I'm not going to be holding this very long. Like I said, little risky here. Bounce is not looking as good as I was hoping for. So we're back kind of where we started on this one. Here we go. Crashing bit. 446. Looks like we're gonna have a little loser today, unfortunately. I'm trying to get out of this trade right now. I'm not trying to just hold this trade and hope. I'm trying to get out of my loser. And I am out. It's fortunate, $28 loss on this one. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit. I actually have something I have to go to, and you know, that's, woo, we'd be profitable right now. Oh, what is that? Looks like I got out just a little bit too early, huh? Oh well, I don't really care. You gotta cut your losses quick, and that's just, you can never not want to cut your losses. I probably should have just stuck with kind of how my feeling for today, and that feeling was there wasn't anything super hot, and you know, because of that, I should have just, you know, put my paws off the trigger and not really traded today. So I kind of probably forced this trade a little bit. Although we were conservative, we let the trade come to us. It wasn't really our day, so yeah. Second red day of the week. No, we did so good last week. So let's tighten up our game here, because this is getting kind of ridiculous here. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. Andrew, good luck with your trade. And PTI, man, that thing was ripsky-lipsky in every direction. That thing, you know, we probably should have just put our attention on that one. I think we could have got the 81 entry sold a little bit later, but I don't know. Who knows? IBIO, I don't know what to say about this one. It's kind of just really not doing a lot, but kind of sucks that we took a $28 loss when we probably could have took like maybe an $18 or $9 loss. Ultimately, this is like a 2.5% loss or something like that. So it's not ideal, but it's not the worst. So, you know, that's just how it is. All right, guys, I'll come up with the recap video a little bit later. Again, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys are new here. We come out with 2 videos, the Trading the Market Open and the Watchlist video, the live stream. And then we also come out with a recap video later in the day where I talk about, you know, the biggest lessons that day, what I should have done, what's planned for next week, just kind of everything that's on my mind. And I find those videos really, really helpful for me, and I get good feedback too. So, you know, I think they're helpful for you guys as well. All right, guys, let's come back to IBIO later today and see what happens. Till then, ciao, ciao.